stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Roll call.
Holt.
Here.
Nikki. Here. Sarah. Here. Phillips. Here. Hensley.
Here.
Bradford.
Here.
Tatum.
Here.
Lemmings.
Here.
Bass.
Here.
All present.
Perfect. You've seen the agenda, and we have just a few modifications to the agenda pending your approval. First of all, we have one additional resolution that we need to add. That was my fault. They got with me about 2 months ago to get the board appointment for the library, and I completely forgot. So we got it in the packet laid on the table tonight. But, do I hear a motion to accept that resolution tonight?
So moved. Second.
So we have a motion by Mary Phillips and a second by Justice Nikki Brown to honor or to address that resolution tonight. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Also, we have one additional transfer that came in last minute. Do I hear a motion to approve that?
So be it. Second.
A motion by Justice Holt and a second by Justice Lemings to entertain the additional transfer. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Also at this time, as far as the agenda goes, do I hear a motion that we dispense with the audible readings of the transfers at the appropriate time?
Yes, indeed. Second.
We have a motion by Justice Holt, a second by Justice Hensley to dispense with the audible reading of the transfers at the appropriate time and do them by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good deal. You've received copies of the minutes of the July 15th meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion by Justice Sarah Brown, a second by Brian Tatum to approve the minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same with the treasurer's report. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Justice Hensley and a second by Justice Nikki Brown to approve the treasurer's report. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Appropriations analysis. Do I hear a motion to approve it? I have a motion by Justice Mary Phillips and a second by Sarah Brown to approve the appropriations analysis. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. You've all received the county road and equipment report. If you have any questions on that, feel free to ask. As far as county judge's comments, our hearts and our prayers go out to the family of previous JP George Bruin, who served for quite some time on the Quorum Court. I had the honor of serving with him when I first came on, and I believe he did too. He was very passionate about county government, and his health just got the best of him, and he had to resign. He was a good person to work with.
I'd like to say something that's just really funny. Where he lived in Fairfield Bay, one part of his house was in Cleveland County, and another part of his house was in Van Buren County.
But his bed was in Van Buren County. So that had to go to court.
Did it really?
Yes, and that's how he got to be on the Quorum Court. Did you have any comments or questions about the sheriff's report? Okay. Next, we have boards that are going to be addressing the court. First up, we have Tammy Mackham from District Court.
We're wanting to move some money around to get a cell phone for our probation officer, because Lisa Warren is our new probation officer. She's working really hard, she's doing a good job, but there are times that people need to get in touch with her, some of her probationers, and we don't want to give them her cell phone. So we would like to ask that we can move some of our money, and it's money that we won't be using, so we could just move that money there. Now, next year we may need a little more, but I'm hoping I can find a way to just fit it in there.
And that's a transfer that would be a slight additional transfer. Is that it?
You were easy tonight.
Danny Griffin.
Tessa and I just wanted to come for tonight, and it's kind of the annual time of year we do this, kind of give you a program update. And we appreciate what you do for our office and the funding that you give us to be able to be here to serve the people of BUREN County. And in the past, like I said, that's what we're here for. We're here to be of a service to the county and bring out the educational and the research information that comes from the university to people here to help hopefully better their lives and their operations and things like that here. So, and work with our 4-H kids and train them up into productive citizens. And we brought you this report. You don't have to read all this report to you, but just a few highlights of that. It's been kind of a crazy year still with the COVID situation, and then we also have moved in the last few months, and we're still working on a little bit of that moving stuff. But we really like the new space back there. Now there's our neighbor back there. Once in a while, Brian comes in there, and checks on it. Now we really like it back there. We got a lot more space. The judges helped us be able to do some things to. We're going to have a demonstration kitchen, kind of a little bit more where we can do some preparation for FCS and 4-H programs. So it's really going to be nice when we get everything fixed like we need it. But you can see here, some of our contacts, some of the programs and demonstrations we've been doing in agriculture. And community development this year has kind of been a little slow, like everything else with COVID. Year before last, we worked with Fairfield Bay on some stuff, and that's kind of got slowed down this last year. But we still have our master gardeners, and let me tell you, they are gung-ho. They really have stepped up in times that they've had to wear a mask and even get outside sometimes when they're working together and wear a mask to try to keep these projects and beautification up around the county. And I really do appreciate what they do. We took a lot of programs online, like everybody else, trying to do Zoom programs and things. Sometimes that's kind of a hard task, but it's not hard to do. It's just trying, internet's a challenge still. So we're hoping that's going to get better the next few years. And probably be some of that over time that we may be able to do like what we call a hybrid meeting, where it's face-to-face, and we still might be able to, do some on the internet once our internet picks up. Because I do think that is a good way to meet people. We've tried to work on being a little bit more aware of posting like on Facebook, our programs, and things that we're doing, projects and demonstrations I try to put on there. Some, I will be honest, I get busy, and it's I am kind of the older, I'm kind of the in-between generation. I kind of know how, I can do some, but then I get busy and I'm thinking, I need to do this, and this takes a lot of time to do this, on the computer, so I'm a little slower than Jess. Jess is really good at this computer stuff. But anyway, we just appreciate y'all having us tonight and letting us come before you and provide this to you. We just always want to be of value and be of service to the county. Let you know what you're getting for what you pay. I'm going to turn it over to Jess, and she's going to give you a little highlight update on the FCS and 4-H.
I'll make this really, really quick. So I just wanted to kind of highlight some few things that I've been doing with FCS and 4-H. I've created a Facebook page for FCS, so I'm trying to kind of reach out to the community in that way, and just really trying to kind of be more visible. And then I just wanted to kind of highlight a few things. You can see we participated in a lot of stuff with the 4-H. We did have one senior winner at State of Drama, so that was a really good win for us. We've also had 30 participants in the poultry chain, and a lot of our livestock judging teams placed really well at their competitions. So we're really proud of all of our youth and our 4-H that we've done. So that's all I'm going to say, and I'll sit back down.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
David Pasternak.
I'm up already.
David's going to address the court about an issue of policy.
First of all, I'd like to introduce myself to y'all. Some of y'all know me and some of y'all don't. My name is David Pasternak. I'm a resident of Shirley, but I do not live in Shirley. I live off Eglantine, down Mountain Park, and back in that way, in Cobalt Bay subdivision. I've been a resident of BUREN County now since 2014. I'm here tonight to speak to y'all about this, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I'm going to pass one of these out to everybody, all the Quorum Court members. I've only got 10 right now, and if you want one, I'll gladly give you one. And it's got a lot of neat facts. It's not just the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I'll give you one. I'll drop my glasses. I have 3 more. There you go, sir. There you go, sir. All right. I did introduce myself, but now I'm going to talk a little bit about the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, just briefly to highlight some of the high points. In 1776, our forefathers put together and signed the Declaration of Independence. And on September 17, 1787, in Philadelphia's Independence Hall, 39 of the 42 delegates present from 12 states signed the Constitution. In June 21st, a Constitution becomes effective for ratifying states when New Hampshire becomes the 9th state to ratify it. And now I'm just going to read the preamble to the Constitution of this country. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. Now, briefly, I want to touch on a few subjects here. And I don't know if y'all are familiar with the history of our Constitution, but in 1871, which was a very important year because there were changes made to our Constitution. I don't know if y'all are aware of that, okay? What happened was we were bankrupt. This country was bankrupt. We needed money. So where did our Congress go? It went to the Crown in England. The only way that they would agree to loan us money to get us out of our bankruptcy was we had to do a couple of things. One of the things is, if you look at that flag over there, it's got a gold fringe around it. Y'all know what the gold fringe indicates? Anybody? Well, I'll let you know here. What it indicates is that since we went to England and got the money, the stipulation, we would go to maritime law. No longer constitutional law, not contract law. Basically, it is contract law, I should say. And if you look at the spelling of the Constitution of the United States, the words change. The Constitution used to be for the United States of America, okay? It went from that to being of the United States of America. And another thing to really note is that all of the letters are in caps. That signifies, and I don't know, y'all can do the research if you do not believe me, that signifies that we were incorporated. We were a company, okay? So basically, from that point on, until, and I'll get into it just a minute because I've not got but about 10 minutes and I don't want to use every bit of it. But I will tell you this, we stayed in that corporation forward. And now, under, like I say, maritime law, law of the sea, and I will tell you this much, your birth certificate, you've got to look at it really close. When your parents signed that birth certificate, anybody after 1930, and and this is gonna be really hard to swallow, but if you'll go do the research, you'll find out what I'm saying is true. You were considered cargo. You were no longer considered a person. You went to maritime law, the law of England, and it's totally different from constitutional law. And I won't tell you any more about the birth certificate. They are worth money, and you will find that out in the very near future when things do change. Okay, and I said 1999 is another important date. That's when this country went bankrupt for the second and final time. And then from that point forward, and you can do the research and you'll find out what I'm saying is true, that all the branches of government, the executive, judicial, and legislative, were basically illegal. I know that's hard to believe and swallow, but if you'll do the research, you can find these things out. And I've done a ton of it. And like I say, they went bankrupt for the second and final time. And I'll get into two more points, and then I'll close. Also in 1999, there was a man named Russell J. Gould, G-O-U-L-D. Look the man up. He basically, what he did was, and I'm not going to get into the flag that he captured, but he captured the Title IV flag, which was our previous flag. He captured it. And the man actually saved our country, basically. If you'll just go and do the research, look him up. He's got a lot of stuff on YouTube. Look up another guy named Robert Horton, Sergeant Robert Horton. He'll explain all this to you, and it's called War Castles. I'm just about finished up, but in March 2018, the corporation went into Chapter 11, bankruptcy, and was finalized. In other words, Chapter 11 was finalized in January of this year. And then on March 11th, do the research and you'll find it out. You won't see it, mainstream's not going to talk about it. You've got to do the research and look. And on March 11th, 2021, we officially became a republic once again. We are out of the corporation. We are considered a republic. And in closing, I'm just going to read the first paragraph of the Declaration of Independence, and it does have a lot of meaning, and it means a lot to me. And I'm hoping y'all will get some meaning out of this, because here we go. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, and that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. And I won't go into any more. But if y'all have any questions, I can probably answer them. Send me an email. But look up some of this stuff and read this booklet if you get a chance. I think you'll learn some things. And there is a lot going on that we don't know about right now behind the scenes. And I appreciate your time, giving me the time to talk. I look forward to talking to y'all in the future. I'm wanting to get involved with county government, something at a local level. I know I'm 65, but I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for my grandkids, and I'm doing it for this country, because we're in a precarious situation right now. I guess y'all probably noticed that. And I pray to God that we get it all straightened out. Thank you for your time.
Three more constitutions, brother.
Do we have any other elected officials that want to approach the court? Or court, do you have any questions for any elected officials that are here? Okay. Next up, we have the 2020 federal audit. And we need to approve the findings of that audit. I guess you all have copies of that audit. It was completely and perfectly clean. That was an audit of the federal funds that we received. That was from the CARES Act money and other federal fundings that the county has received over the last year. So do I hear a motion to approve the audit?
Make a motion to approve the audit.
Okay, so we have a motion by Dilla Holt and a second by Nikki Brown to approve the audit. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Moving on to new business, our first order of business is an ordinance sponsored by Mary Phillips.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to transfer and appropriate $1,171.62 into the Recorder's Cost Fund, number 3006-102, from the Circuit Clerk's County General Budget, number 1000-102. Whereas an employee's salary is paid from the personal services in the Recorder's Cost Fund that should have been paid from general budget of the Circuit Clerk. Whereas the money will need to be transferred and appropriated back into the Recorder's Cost Fund from the Circuit Clerk's general budget as stated below. $938.70 from 1000-102-1002 to 3006-102-1002 salaried part-time. $80.07 from 1000-102-1006 to 3006-102-1006 Social Security. $143.78 from 1000-102-1008 to 3006-102-1008 retirement. $9.07 from 1000-102-1011 to 3006-102-1011 unemployment. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that $1,171.62 be transferred and appropriated into the Van Buren County Recorder's Cost Fund, number 3006-102, as stated above. I move we accept this.
We have a motion by Justice Phillips to approve and a second by Justice Tatum. Any discussion? Roll call.
Holt.
Yes.
Nikki. Yes. Sarah.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Hensley.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Tatum.
Yes.
Lemings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2021-24.
Next ordinance is sponsored by Justice Nikki Brown.
Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to establish special revenue fund to be named the County Library ARP Fund and to declare an emergency. Whereas Article 1, affirmation. It comes before this court that there is a need to establish a special revenue fund on the books of the county to track the revenues and expenditures of federal assistance through the American Rescue Plan Act for the county library. This court recognizes and affirms the need for such a fund to properly account for and control all such revenues received and expenditures made in compliance with all applicable laws and guidance from the U.S. Treasury. Whereas Article 2, establishment of fund, there is hereby created on the books of the Van Buren County Treasurer and the books of the Van Buren County Clerk a special revenue fund to be known as the County Library ARP Fund with a fund number of 3047 as assigned by Arkansas Legislative Audit. The revenue code for the federal assistance through the ARP Act as assigned by Legislative Audit is 7112 Federal Coronavirus Relief. Whereas Article 3, operation of the fund. The County Library ARP Fund is subject to the county budgeting, appropriation, and expenditure regulations of Arkansas Code annotated Title 14, the claims process for county libraries pursuant to 13-2-404C12, and the county financial management system implemented in accordance with 14-21-101. Funds must be used only in accordance with guidelines issued by the U.S. Treasury concerning the legal expenditures of revenues received pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act 2021, PL 11-2, which established the federal coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery fund. Proper records and documentation must be maintained for federal audit purposes. Whereas, Article 4, Emergency Clause. It is found by this court that the deposit of federal assistance funds from the American Rescue Plan Act are imminent, making it necessary to establish the county library ARP fund in order to be able to properly track the revenue and appropriate expenditures. Therefore, an emergency is declared to exist, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from the date of passage and approval. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the Quorum Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that a special revenue fund, number 3047, County Library ARP Fund, and a revenue code, number 7112, Federal Coronavirus Relief be established. I make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Nikki Brown, a second by Mary Phillips. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Holt.
Yes.
Nikki.
Yes.
Sarah. Yes. Phillips.
Yes.
Hensley.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Tatum.
Yes.
Lemings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2021-25.
Okay. And before we move on to the next one, I do want to acknowledge into the minutes, or get into the minutes, an acknowledgement of the emergency clause on this one. Do I hear a motion to approve the emergency clause?
Make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Nikki Brown and a second by Justice Holt to accept the emergency clause in this ordinance. Any discussion? All those in favor of accepting it, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Our next ordinance will be sponsored by Justice Hensley.
Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to transfer and appropriate $13,952 into a special library budget, number 3047, County Library ARP Fund, from the library budget, number 3008. Whereas, the Van Buren County Library has received federal funds through the American Rescue Plan Act for $13,952 as part of the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, and whereas these funds have been appropriated into the library fund number 3008 by ordinance number 2021-21, and whereas the Arkansas Legislative Audit has assigned and requires a new special fund to use to properly manage the expenditures of the federal funds. Now therefore be ordained by the Quorum Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that $13,952 be transferred and appropriated into number 3047-600-3103 grants in ARPA. I move we accept as written.
Second.
So we have a motion by Justice Hensley and a second by Justice Nikki Brown. Any discussion?
Is this the same monies as we passed here months? It is.
It is.
It's come in and now we're just going to.
Got to move it from one fund to the other because we have to establish a fund for the federal funds. Good question. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Holt.
Yes.
Nikki.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Hensley.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Tatum.
Yes.
Lemings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2021-26.
Thank you. Our next ordinance will be read by Justice Lemings.
Can we have a correction on this?
Go ahead and read it and then we'll amend it.
Do we read it as written, or do we read the correction?
Read it as written.
Okay. Be enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled, an appropriation ordinance to increase revenues and appropriate $130,000 into the county road budget, number 2000, into certain line items. Whereas severance tax revenues were paid well above the anticipated for 2021, and whereas there's a need to appropriate and increase revenue to cover increased costs. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, Arkansas, that the sum of $100,000 be appropriated into the following line items. 2000-0200-2001 general supplies, $15,000. 2000-0200-2007 fuel, oil, and lubricants, $75,000. 2000-0200-2025 asphalt, $10,000. 2000-0200-3009 other professional services, $30,000, for a total of $130,000.
we approve this as written. I'll move that we approve this as written.
Okay, we have a motion by Justice Lemings and a second by Justice Brown. Now we'll open it up for discussion because there needs to be an amendment.
Right.
So, Justice Holt, would you like to
Yes.
move that amendment?
Yeah, we need to move the amendment to the sum of the figure of 100,000 to 130,000. And the line right below there, now therefore the sum, this sum.
That's the top right.
The sum is incorrect, but the total is correct.
Right.
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 So does, Mr. Lemons?
Numbers just written wrong there.
Does he need to read it again? The numbers?
No, we amended it.
Second.
So we have a motion by Holt and a second by Lemings to amend this to show the $130,000 correct amount in all places on this ordinance. Okay. And that's all my fault. I got already messed this one up. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I just have some quick questions.
Let's vote on the amendment
Okay,
first.
all right.
Okay, and then we'll move on to further discussion. All those in favor of approving the amendment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Yes, sir.
Just so everybody understands, what is the severance tax revenues? Where does that come from?
That comes from that gas and oil, that industry.
Not the natural gas, but it's the actual gasoline and diesel sales through the state, correct?
And that is Misty here? Those are severance taxes and those come from the wellheads and the property. So,
This particular money here, though, is that is the only money, that money can only be used for the road department, is that
correct.
is that?
It's dedicated. Good question. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Holt?
Yes.
Nikki?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Bradford?
Yes.
Tatum?
Yes.
Lemings?
Yes.
Bass?
Yes.
2021-27.
Our next ordinance is sponsored by Justice Tatum.
Being enacted by the Quorum Court, the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, and the appropriation ordinance to be entitled, appropriation ordinance to increase revenues and appropriate $20,000 into the maintenance fund budget number 100123. Whereas all expenses from the previously existing Office of Emergency Management have been diverted into the maintenance budget, and whereas monies must be spent in advance of receiving reimbursements, and whereas there is a need to appropriate these funds, which should be replaced with EMPG grant reimbursements. Now therefore it be ordained by the Quorum Court, BUREN County, Arkansas, that the sum of $20,000 be appropriated into the following line items. 2000-0123-2001 general supplies, $10,000. 2000-0123-3009 other professional services, $10,000. Move we approve the correction.
We have corrections on that.
Okay. We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second? Okay. We have a motion by Justice Tatum to approve and a second by Nikki Brown. Discussion.
Okay, it's line item 1,000, not 2,000.
You are correct.
So that needs to be changed.
On both of those.
The motion to amend it?
Do I have a motion to amend?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion to amend by Justice Brown, Sarah Brown, and a second by Justice Phillips. Any discussion on the amendment?
Yeah. Did you understand?
Yeah, I thought Holt, like,
They both did.
Yeah.
That's correct.
okay.
Yes, there.
You
Yes,
brought
there,
it up.
there.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Now, discussion on the ordinance. Roll call vote.
Holt?
Yes.
Nikki?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Bradford?
Yes.
Tatum?
Yes.
Lemings?
Yes.
Bass?
Yes.
2021-28.
Next ordinance is sponsored by Justice Holt.
Be enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, appropriation ordinance to be entitled, appropriation ordinance to increase the revenues appropriated $110,000 from the solid waste budget number 3009 to certain line items, whereas volume continues to increase at the solid waste department, and whereas there is a need to appropriate increased revenue to cover increased costs. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that sum of $110,000 be appropriated to the following line items: 3009-0700, 2001 general supplies 5,000, 3009-0700-2003 janitorial supplies 250, 3009-0700-2007 fuel oil lubricants 5,000, 3009-0700-2020 building materials and supplies $1,500, 3009-0700-2023 machinery repairs and parts 4,500, 3009-0700 3104 landfill tipping fees $93,750 for a total of $110,000. I move we approve this ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion by Justice Holt and a second by Justice Phillips to approve this ordinance. Any discussion?
This is just turnaround money.
It is. Solid waste just keeps growing and growing and growing. We did 95 tons in one day, and that's just, that's a lot. That's good. Like the volume. Any other discussion?
Who does the tipping?
Moral.
Walton does that.
That's what we pay them all. People pay us, and then we have to pay them back. Hopefully, what's left in the middle isn't in the red. No, we're doing pretty good right now. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah, Phillips,
Yes.
Hensley,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lemings,
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2021-29.
Thank you. Our next ordinance is sponsored by Justice Bradford.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled, an appropriation ordinance to transfer and appropriate $695.73 in the county road budget, number 2000-200, from the solid waste budget, number 3009-700. Whereas a bill from Fleet Tar was split between the two departments, and whereas the entire bill should have been paid to the solid waste budget. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that Section 1, $695.73 be transferred and appropriated into the county road budget. Number 2000-200-2008 tires and tubes, from the solid waste budget, number 3009-700-2008 tires and lubes. I move this ordinance be approved.
Second.
We have a motion by Justice Bradford and a second by Justice Hensley. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Hensley,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lemings,
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2021-30.
Next up, we have the resolution that was added earlier. That will be sponsored by Justice Nikki Brown.
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution to confirm the appointment of a member to the Van Buren County Library. Whereas the Van Buren County Quorum Court has a responsibility and legal obligation to approve and confirm the appointment of members to the Van Buren County Library Board. And whereas there is a need to confirm the appointment of David Jeffries to the Van Buren County Library Board. This appointment is to replace Vicki Carver and will expire in 2023. Therefore, be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that the Quorum Court of Van Buren County hereby confirms the appointment of David Jeffries to the Van Buren County Library Board. The board's terms to expire as noted. The Van Buren County Library Board members are Joy Hawk, term expires in 2026, David Emmerling, 2025, Kelly Tester, 2024, David Jeffries, 2023, Christy Eastridge, 2022. I make a motion we approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Justice Nikki Brown and a second by Justice Hensley. Any discussion?
Is Mr. Jeffers here?
Yes, here.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you. I've been involved with the library for the 3 years since I moved into the county. Obviously, I came in initially as part of the Friends of the Library. I'm just stepping up to the board position, which became vacant.
Awesome.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Holt.
Yes.
Nikki.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Hensley.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Tatum.
Yes.
Lemings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2021-14.
This time, I will entertain a motion to approve the transfers.
Second.
Have a motion by Justice Sarah Brown and a second by Justice Dale Holt to approve the transfers. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the transfers signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Got a lot of business done tonight. I think it had kind of backed up on us the last couple of months. We didn't have just a whole lot of ordinances or resolutions. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Okay.